Good day everyone, I am Relcolin Vicalda and I am here to report my topic. Number 1 is international marketing. So ano nga po ba ang international marketing? Sabi po dito is yung international marketing ay pagbebenta ng products and services sa iba't ibang bansa. Also, it involves understanding the culture, consumer perspective, and business practices in various places to succeed in the global market. So, magbigay po tayo ng example ng isang international marketing. Number 1 is yung Coca-Cola. Alam niyo naman po siguro yung Coca-Cola na product, di ba? Sobrang sikat siya dito sa Pilipinas. At hindi lang po dito sa Pilipinas. Coca-Cola is multinational company. Coca-Cola promotes its beverage in various countries using culturally relevant advertising campaigns. They adopt their marketing strategies to suit the preferences and behaviors of consumers in each country while maintaining a consistent brand image globally. So, next naman po is yung China's main export partners. Ito po yung United States, European Union member countries, Association of Southeast Asian Nations, Japan, Republic of Korea. Yung mga countries and regions na nabanggit ay ang mga major importers of goods from China. They are contributing significantly to China's export economy. Next one is China main imports are electronic equipment, mineral fuel and oil, machinery, copper and aluminum, and last, soybeans. Sabi naman po dito, these imports reflect to China's demand for raw materials, energy resources, and advanced technology to support its manufacturing and industrial sectors. Sinasabi dito, yung mga countries and regions na to are major exporters of goods to China, supplying a wide range of products to meet China's domestic demand and support its economy. At yung last naman po is, sinasabi dito na yung China, nag-join daw yung China sa World Trade Organization in 2001, which means it's been a part of organization that facilitates international trade by promoting fair practices, resolving disputes, and negotiating agreements among member countries. Product in the maturity stage of their domestic life cycle may find new growth opportunities overseas. So, sinasabi dito, kapag yung product daw na-reach niya na yung maturity stage sa domestic market, it means they've likely saturated the market and experiencing stable sales. So, ano na siya, yung products is matagal na siyang sikat. So, para makahanap ng new growth opportunities, yung company is maghahanap sila overseas ng mga untapped market or yung kung saan yung product nila is nasa pa lang, earlier stage pa lang ng life cycles. So, sinasabi dito na, this allows the product to potentially experience a new wave of growth in different regions or countries. So, magbigay po tayo ng example ng nasa maturity stage na product. Tulad na lang ng ito guys, ng breakfast cereal. So, matagal naman na yung breakfast cereals, diba? So, bata pa lang tayo. Sikat na siya. Pero, syempre, habang tumatanda tayo, nakakalimutan na natin siya. Pero, at the same time, nasa market pa din siya. Hindi pa rin siya nawawala sa market. So, ayun yung meaning ng next is, some firms find it less risky and more profitable to expand by exporting current products instead of developing new products. So, dito sinasabi is mas risky daw kapag gumawa ng bagong products kasi syempre, 'di ba? I-advertise mo pa siya. Hindi naman natin alam kung sisikat pa siya or papatok ba siya sa mga buyers, 'di ba? Example ko na lang dito yung TikToker na nagbebenta ng bagoong. So, ang product niya talaga is na binebenta is bagoong. Pero syempre, entrepreneur siya. Hindi lang siya nakapokus sa bagoong. So, nagbenta rin siya ng peanut butter. Pero yung bagoong niya kasi sikat talaga 'yon. Tapos, gumawa ulit siya ng another product which is yung peanut butter niya. So, di niya ina-expect yung peanut butter is hindi papatok. Unlike dun sa bagoong na ginawa nila. So, anong nangyari is nalugi sila. Hindi naman siya totally nalugi. Kumita naman sila, pero hindi ganun katulad ng kita niya sa bagoong. So, ayun yung parang pinagsisisihan nila na dapat mas in-improve na lang nila yung una nilang product kasi mas kilala na yon, unlike sa gumawa sila ng bagong product nila. Firms who face seasonal domestic demand may choose to sell their products to foreign markets when those products are seasoned those foreign markets. So, ito guys, madali lang siya. For example, yung isang company is nagbebenta siya ng beachwear, ng mga two-piece, ganon. So, sa country nila is winter ngayon. Hindi mo naman mabebenta sa mga tao yun, di ba? So, ang in-demand sa kanila ngayon is jacket. So, ang gagawin ng company is mag-export sila ng product nila sa ibang bansa. Example dito sa Pilipinas, kasi mainit sa atin ngayon para mabenta yung products nila. At yung last naman po is, yung some firms may elect to export products because there is less competition overseas. Ito yung mga company na takot malamang. Charot. Sinasabi dito na yung, yung ibang company is mas gusto nila na mag-business o mag-export ng product nila sa ibang bansa. Case of exporting. Number 1 is indirect exporting. So, ayun. Indirect exporting is when a company sells its product to an intermediary such as an export trading company or a distributor who then sells the product to foreign markets on behalf of the company. So, ito yung nakuha kong example. Sabi dito, let's say, a small clothing manufacturer dito sa Philippines. Gusto nila mag-export ng product nila sa Korea. Instead of handling the export process directly, they decided to work with an export trading company based in Korea. So, the export trading company purchases the clothing from the manufacturer and then sells it to retailers across Korea. In this scenario, the export trading company serves as the intermediary facilitating the export process on behalf of the manufacturer. Next naman is yung semi-direct exporting. Ito daw, combination to ng direct at indirect exporting method. Kung saan ginagamit ng isang company yung intermediary tulad ng mga export agent or trading companies habang maintain yung level ng direct involvement sa process ng pag-export tulad ng pag-handle ng negotiation or shipping arrangement. So, ito is semi-direct exporting. Combination siya ng direct at indirect exporting method kung saan gumagamit yung isang company ng mga intermediary tulad ng mga export agent o trading companies habang maintain nila yung level ng direct involvement sa process ng pag-export tulad ng pag-handle ng negotiation or shipping arrangement. Dito naman is summarize ko na lang. A manufacturer's export agent or MEA operates very much like the domestic agent intermediary, but caters to manufacturing firms only through an export association which will act similar to domestic agent intermediary and manufacturer export agent that handles the exporting of the product of the association members. The piggyback contract is a collaboration agreement between two companies of the same country by virtue of which one company, generally as a SME, takes advantage of the structure of another company that is established in the target market or country in order to sell their products there. Next is multinational marketing. Multinational marketing involves planning and executing marketing activities across different countries or regions. It requires adapting strategies to fit cultural, economic, and legal variations while upholding a consistent brand identity globally. So, dito, magbigay tayo ng example. Yung McDonald's na lang. So, siya? Di ba sa atin dito? More on rice tayo. So, ang ginawa ng McDonald's is, merong rice, merong rice mills. Unlike sa ibang bansa is burger or spaghetti lang. So, sa Japan naman is, nag-ano sila ng pang-fit din sa Japan. Like, teriyaki burger. And sa India naman, di ba? Mahilig sila sa veggies. So, ang ginawa nila, di ko lang alam kung ano eh. Pero, more on veggies yung McDonald's nila doon. So, yung strategy ni McDonald's is maganda kasi inaral niya yung cultural preferences ng iba't ibang bansa and nag-a-adjust siya ng menu. Kasi 'di ba hindi naman tayo same ng ano sa pagkain. Kung dito sa Pilipinas, hindi naman ganoon sa ibang bansa. No, mas pumatok si McDonald kasi alam niya at inaral niya yung mga hindi naman pangangailangan. Parang yung gusto ng isang country na to, which is dito sa Pilipinas, more on rice tayo. So, may rice meal sa ibang bansa, burger, and so on. Yun lang. Thank you.
For the number 3 of the levels of international marketing, so the third one is the transnational marketing, which is the strategy of promoting and selling the products and services in multiple countries while taking into account cultural and linguistic differences. So when it comes to transnational marketing, it is the strategy behind of every company operation wherein they try to sell their goods and services, goods and product to the other country and also in their domestic or home country. They're trying to expand more their profit and demand for them to have a big and have an increases revenue for their company operation or business operation. So, dito pumapasok na kahit na nagkakaroon tayo ng iba-ibang differences when it comes to satisfaction, cultures, and differences of languages, nagkakaroon pa rin tayo ng connection and even commonalities when it comes to choosing our goods, our products and services. Doon tayo nagkakaroon ng parang kahit pa paano is similarities when it comes to choosing their goods and services na usually and essentially nagagamit naman sa lahat ng bagay in and out in our household and even to the essentials for ourselves, personal matters and such. And meron din tayong tinatawag na transnational corporation, which is the company itself. It is where involve the control of asset of other entities and economies other than its home country, usually by owning a certain quantity capital stake. So, kung yung transnational marketing is a strategy of the business operation, the transnational corporation is the business company itself, where the goods and services are being provided by the company and being imported and exported by the other country. So, yeah. And also in transnational corporation, like what I've said, it is an operating in a multiple countries, just like multinationals. When you say multinational, it involves the different countries in Asia, in America, and other countries that being trying to import or trade our goods and services, but larger than most multinational. Unlikely, if in multinational they are all in a decentralized system. So when you say decentralized, it is a domestic strategy within the domestic or a local country, means you'll be able to leverage the native language skills. So kung locally ka nagbebenta or nagpa-promote ng goods and services mo, syempre, you're using your mother tongue, which is in Philippines is Tagalog. So, and also, it facilitates how well the team understand the local audience needs. So, since we are using the native language, we really understand what it's their needs and wants and their satisfaction when it comes to choosing their goods and services in our business. Yeah, and also under that, they are under decentralized management system. Transnational company make takes decision it's suitable to be operating context in the country they are located. So since we're decentralized in operating a management or a company, uh, since it is using a native language, which is the domestic, we are making a decision that is suitable for the audience or the consumers, wherein they're trying to understand and learn how to efficiently use their knowledge on choosing their goods and services, and also on how they try to understand where they try to target the market and the audience, and even the location itself where they're trying to build and operate their business. But also, there uh, there are other involved called glocalized or the globalization, which is when we say glocalized, it is a creation of products and services for a global market, which is their target is the globally involved, the global country, global people, and such, by adapting their local culture. So, since it involves the global market, it has various resources that they're trying to use in creating their products and services. So, mas nakakaroon ng various ideas and paggamit ng mga other resources from the other countries in creating their business, they're creating their products and services na bibigay din ng magandang result in production, when it comes to production and creating their products in a high quality. And also, with a high quality, it given a high quality and it gives a high demand also with an increase of profit for their business. And since transnational marketing or the corporation focuses on the multiple countries, so it happens to have an expansion of their business and business operation, business production and demands for their consumers, na hindi lang naman domestically yung audience nila, involved na rin yung mga international people or yung mga international country. So they said that transnational company are not so loyal to the operating country. Siyempre, yung mga involved na multiple countries, so nagkakaroon din sila ng other plans and decision making in different countries. Siyempre, iba-iba tayo ng cultural and resources na meron. So may mga just a little adjustment for their consumer satisfaction and even the consumer product quality demand for the business, para mamit pa rin ni company yung satisfaction na hinihingi ng mga bawat consumer sa iba't ibang kumpanya, sa iba't ibang country rather. So, but yeah, since it involves so many country, syempre, they're trying to make it suitable and sensible naman when it comes to creating their goods and products and services. Na sa tingin nila is, yun nga, adapted pa din yung culture na meron ng bawat country na yun, kung saan nag-a-adjust sila kung ano yung mga pwede nilang idagdag or ibawas doon sa mga goods and services na ginagawa nila sa each country na yun. So, may mga quality din na mababago. Like for example na lang is the McDonald's. Diba? Sa McDonald's, iba-iba ang taste niyan every country. Sa Philippines, medyo iba yung lasa. Sa Amerika, pagdating sa Amerika, iba yung recipe, iba yung how they make their chicken and such. And sa other country din, ina-adjust nila kung ano yung taste na hinahanap ng bawat country and ng bawat consumer na bumibili sa McDonald's. And, yeah, the transnational corporation are able to gain more interest in the local market, like what I said. Where they maintain their own system, syempre, nandun pa rin yung standard na meron sa company na sinusunod. Pero, may mga konting adjustment lang when it comes to the adopting of new, how I call this? When it comes to adopting their new taste and satisfaction and such. Yeah. And also, transnational corporation showing a willingness to understand. Yeah. So, kaya nagkakaroon ng adjustment sa mga bawat taste sa McDonald's kasi they're trying to understand the taste and culture of each country. And they're trying to apply any specific differences for them to meet the satisfaction and being efficient and effective company and satisfy their consumer. So that's their one of their goal for operating or doing that kind of adjustment is for them to be an to create a effective strategy and be a competitive advantage. And nagiging competitive advantage nila yan na ina-adjust nila kung ano yung nasa standard para lang ma-meet nila yung satisfaction ng isang consumer. So, we're trying to understand the interests of every consumer and yun ang nagiging advantage nila when it comes to the other competitors. Iniintindi, nagkakaroon ng balancing state, nagkakaroon ng exploration and innovation and such. Para meron pa ding development na may development and at the same time may understanding pa rin sa pag-intindi sa mga differences ng bawat country. Diba? Na kahit na magkakaiba ng country yan, yung standard, pwedeng mo naman siyang i-adjust a little bit, but not all of it. Kasi, yun ang yung pinaka tumatak talaga sa company. Kumbaga, yun yung pinaka-asset ng business. Yung standard ng operation or yung quality taste ng business na yan at yan na yun. Kumbaga, mag-a-adjust ka lang kapag, kunwari, or for instance, yung country na yon is hindi nag-rice or nagka-carbs, so tatanggalin mo yung rice. So, more on chicken or other pasta, gano'n. Para lang ma-meet nila kung ano lang yung pwede na lang i-consume sa company mo. And yeah, that's for the transnational marketing and the transnational corporation. The difference between the two, transnational company is the company itself, the company operation itself, while the transnational marketing is the strategy on how they operate the business operation. So next one is the global marketing. So hindi siya nalalayo dito sa transnational company or marketing. It also involve a different countries, but in a broad part. Like, hindi lang siya pili na Asia or North America and such. It involves the all country involved in the global market. The globe itself. So, same with the transnational marketing. It is the highest level of strategy on how they operate their business. So, since it involves the global, malaki-laking pagpaplano or pag-forecast ng plans in expanding their business. Kasi globally involved na siya. Napakalaki na ng mga country na involved, and at the same time, hindi lang siya basta-basta na business operation na pwedeng sabihin natin na na pwede lang pagsawalang bahala. Kasi pag sinabing global, malalaking tao na yung involved dyan, and malalaking country, mga matataas na or yung mga nasa mayayamang bansa, gano'n. So, sa global company, sinasabi na it doesn't change their branding. So, kapag globally known na yung business mo, napakalaki, like Starbucks, I'm not sure if it's kind of big company, but I think so, since the corporation, the operation or the corporate business, like Starbucks, I don't know, is that kind of business or franchise business or branding. Hindi mo siya pwedeng palitan, lalo na kung i-a-add in siya, kung magkakaroon siya ng business sa ibang country. Kumbaga pag lumabas si Starbucks from other country, Starbucks pa din yung name niya. Starbucks pa din yung brand name niya kasi yun yung pinaka yun ang parang yung brand name nila yung pinaka asset nila. Kumbaga pag franchise mo siya, hindi lang basta operation yung binayaran mo doon, the brand name itself. Na Starbucks yan, malaking yan, kilalang kilala yan sa lahat, kahit saan ka pumunta, kahit saan ka isang bansa ka pumunta, may Starbucks talaga na kilala as one of the best of the best. So, yeah. Next one is, a global business has an operation worldwide. Yeah, syempre, global na global business. So, it operates in a multiple country, multiple cities, every part of the globe, merong operation yan. Kasi doon mo lang naman masasabi na globally involved na yung isang business mo kapag napakamadami ng branches, more than 100 na yan, worldwide, global na yan. And yeah, it does not identify at any home country and has its own specific identity. So, hindi na natin siya mas-specific or hindi na ma-specific itong global business kasi sa dami na ng involved na business, dami ng involved na country na masasabi natin na maaaring ito yung dito nag-originate pero hindi pala, pero pwedeng dito rin manggaling, like diba sa mga kapag magpa-purchase tayo ng isang brand na akala natin is made in China pero made in Australia, Singapore pala siya. Wala siyang specific country na nagsasabi na dito talaga nag-originate. Kumaga, mahirap siya i-specify kung dito ba talaga nag-originate yung mga production na yan. So, yeah. It says din na not many countries have achieved this kind of level. Siyempre, hindi lahat ng business operation kaya mag-expand agad globally. Hindi naman lahat ng goods, products and services nila nakikilala internationally and globally. Siyempre, pag nag-boom yan domestically, tsaka pa lang yan itatry na i-import or export sa other country para unti-unting makilala. Pero hindi ibig sabihin na na-import mo na siya or na-export mo na siya sa iba, na ilabas mo na ng bansa. Hindi naman pwedeng sabihin agad na well-known na siya as a good brand or a quality brand. Pwedeng nag-expand ka, pero hindi pa siya ganun ka-broad. Like, Jollibee na napakalaking business corporation na yan na nakikilala na siya nakikilala na talaga siya internationally. And luckily, nakakapag-adjust din yung mga consumer from the other country sa taste ng Jollibee. Kahit na para sa atin okay, tapos sa kanila hindi. Well, it's not the matter. It's not that matter. It matters more is how they try to adapt and adjust their production to the other business. And yung goal nila, ang goal nila and how they operate their business and how they produce their products and services in a high quality with the high quality supply and demand. Syempre, yun ang pinaka-importante sa lahat. Magkaroon ng good production when it comes to quality. Doon parang magbo-boom yung demand and pagtaas ng profit ng business. So that's one of their goals and directions and the reason why they try to expand their business globally or internationally. So, give an example here, the global business is yung may-ari, yung corporation ng Marlboro. Napakalaking company niyang business na yan. Which, I can say na lahat naman ng country, merong Marlboro. Nagbebenta. Kilala sa lahat. Tobacco company. It is an American multinational tobacco company. For the other information. Kahit saan ka pumunta may Marlboro. Lahat ng tao nagsisigarilyo. So it this is owned by Philip Morris International Incorporation. They produce their product they import and export their product over 180 countries all over the world. So it's really big company na magbenta at ma-recognize sila ng ganyang kalaki. Lahat ng tao, 100% ay making sure na nag-Yossi at kilala ang Marlboro as their brand for tobacco. So, yeah. So, this company or this corporation, they're focused on the selection and exploration of global market and opportunities. Siyempre, ano ba naman na sila yung most recognized and best-selling product? Diba? Kung yung mga goals nila for their business is hindi ganun ka-effective na kahit hindi sila magbago ng mga raw materials na gagamitin or yung mga mga paggamit nila sa production is napapurchase pa din ng mga consumer. Nakikilala pa rin sila and napakalaki ng impact nito sa lahat. So, that's a big company na yung aims or yung primary objectives nila for this is just to achieve their overall operation by taking an advantage of different exchange rate, tax rate, labor rate, skills level, and market opportunities. So, ang dami nilang, dahil sa ang laki na ng business operation nila, ang dami na ding nagkakaroon ng pagtaas ng ng mga rates nila when it comes to taxes and labor. Diba? Kasi, I don't know if they have a specific or standard skills and such in producing their cigarettes. Diba? But the thing I know is marami nang nai-involve dito. Malaki na yung nilalabas nilang pera kasi globally involved to eh. So, malaki yung mga perang na ipapasok at na i-release din nila kapag nasa global business ka. Hindi lang naman dahil sumikat ka globally or internationally is yun na yun. Siyempre, pag start kang mag-operate ng business mo internationally, siyempre magkakaroon ka na ng mindset niyan na magtayo bawat or pa isa-isa sa bawat country na yan para mas ma-expand ka pa at makilala pa yung business mo. Kasi nang ginawa nitong Philip Morris International. Maganda nga naman yung business na cigarette na lahat ng tao kayang magsigarilyo. Walang pinipiling edad yan. So, maybe it just happened na negative yung cigarette. But for the business, it's really, really high demand and big profit for them. So, kahit na yung mga advertisement nila or yung mga nakikita mo dun sa packs ng mga sigarilyo nila is nagwa-warning na sa mga cancers and such. Na-apektuhan ba yung consumer? No. Ang focus lang nila is yung cigarette itself. Na kahit sabihin mong cancer yan sa ganito ganyan, titignan lang nila yan pero hindi nila yan i-take as a serious state. Well, alam naman nila kung ano patutunguhan ng life nila kapag nag-start sila sa ganyan na bisyo. But once na nakatikim na or nakapag-take ka na ng cigarette, it become a habit or addiction na kahit magtaas man yan, di ba nagtaas ang Marlboro, 10 na ata or more, nakakabili pa rin ng consumer. So, nagkakaroon lang ng maliit na effect sa kanila, pero hindi rin, konti lang din yung effect nun sa part na iisipin nilang hindi magbibisyo. Siyempre may part pa din na magbibisyo sila, pero bibili sila ng sigarilyo, pero hindi to the point na ititigil talaga nila. So, Marlboro or a cigarette business is a big profit revenue. So yeah, that's for the global marketing under levels of international marketing.